Now, when we're talking about change management, we're often referring to the common understanding of organizational change. However, the way that we commonly understand and approach change management is really part of the problem. The truth is that the common methods, traditional strategies, and the way we've always done it aren't working. We need to see that how we manage change needs to evolve. Now, in 1995, John Kotter published research that revealed only 30% of change programs are successful. There were decades of businesses and organizations developing and shifting to meet the times, the technologies, and the evolution of the workforce. However, by the mid-90s, most organizational change was not considered successful, which is really shocking. However, it's not getting any better. A 2008 McKinsey Company survey indicates that the percentage of change programs that are successful is still only 30%. 13 years after John Kotter's results, we're still not getting any better at managing change. But think about what happened between 95 and 2008. The internet started showing up in every home and business. Google was created. Digital advertising became a thing. Social media was invented. We all got smartphones. All these huge things that completely changed how we do business. All of these huge dramatic shifts in the business landscape came at us. But when organizations tried to change and incorporate them, they were still only 30% effective. Now, fast forward another 12 years, and things have barely gotten any better. We are outright failing our change management half the time, and we're only considered successful 4% more often. All of this time and effort to improve change management, and we're not getting the success that we need. I think a clear real-life example of this is how unprepared pretty much every business was for the changes brought on by COVID-19 and why everything has been so hard. How we thought of, were taught, and were expected to manage change has not been successful. But we always seem to get through it, which I think is part of the problem. It's like we can stumble and suffer through, and eventually the new change won't be new anymore, which is why some organizations are not learning from the trials and tribulations of their last big change. But if only a third of change is successful, that means that 2/3 of change are still happening, but they're taking way longer than they need to. They're not meeting organizational goals. They're burning out employees with change fatigue. They're not being properly adopted. And perhaps most importantly, they're going way over budget. And this is what happens when they're not successful. The need to get ahead of the next big change is something that we don't always prioritize. And maybe it's because we really don't think the next change will come. But the truth is, change is inevitable. Change was abundant pre-COVID. Even then, 96% of businesses were in organizational transformations, but only 47% expected sustainable value from those change. So let's see where we're at with all this. Change management has only been successfully implemented about 1/3 of the time in at least the last 25 to 30 years. But 96% of businesses were actively going through change even pre-COVID. And we can only assume is 100% of businesses since 2020.